violates local or international law, or are we going to say that this is par for the course and accept that this information that causes hundreds of thousands of deaths is acceptable international norm?
Well, Madam Chair, I think we would have to really investigate the
No,
whole
just
issue.
as a matter of law, if this was in fact true, I'm not trying to catch you. If this was in fact true, that an disinformation campaign of this magnitude, of this severity was undertaken, wouldn't it violate local and international law? Well,
What?
Dr. Lucy already said that this was clearly unethical if it were true.
Perhaps, Madam Chair, I could pass the floor to our legal advisor because I think this is more of an international legal issue. I have our Assistant Secretary for International
Yes po. Asek Tejada, is that it?
Tejada.
Yes, po.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me the floor. Locally, it could any disinformation
Yes,
campaign.
can we speak closer to the mic, please?
Locally, any international, any campaign to discredit,
Oo.
especially an information that concerns health issue, is a matter of national security, of course. Therefore, any country could take issue on this. But
I'm sorry, national security. We're talking about public health.
yes, yes, it is a national security issue.
Yes,
It-
I
it-
understand, but graver than that, of course, it causes
Yes, yes.
so many. There's widespread death and disease, right?
Indeed, indeed, Madam Chair. Therefore, any attempt to discredit or to sow disinformation for example, in the Philippines,
Sure.
our national authorities are for sure can take issue on that and can take action.
What action? What legal recourse would we have in the international arena?
You could go either to counter the disinformation, as what the health department
No,
has
no,
said.
but that's not an international arena. What legal recourse does the Philippines have? Has the Philippines have? Anong anong magagawa natin? Kasi nangyari na nga to.
Opo.
Paano natin gagawa ng paraan na hindi na mauulit?
Opo. If we are able to identify po kung sino po yung nagkakalat ng maling information, we could go
Yes,
the
but what's
diplomatic
the legal
way.
recourse? What are our remedies? Saan tayo pupunta?
Well, Madam Chair,
Ang hirap naman na sasabihin sa mga pamilya na nawalan ng mga mahal sa buhay, na wala na tayong magawa, iyakan na lang natin.
hindi naman po ganun, Madam Chair.
Kaya
I
nga,
think
ano po ang sinasabi mo?
We should vigorously inform the public about any disinformation that is being made
Hindi, pero
by
wala
any
ba tayong
entity.
legal recourse dyan? Wala bang mapapataw na kaso ang Pilipinas na hindi naman tama ang ginawa nila?
This needs further study, Madam Chair. Of course, using
We do have legal remedies, don't we?
for sure, Madam Chair, but it is only
Assuming that
now.
this was true. I am not accusing anyone at this juncture, but certainly what we have heard is very substantial and very, very
Madam Chair,
serious.
thank you very much. If we knew what we know now, that this is a campaign,
Well, we do know what we know now.
this report by the Reuters, that there is actually
Kaya nga, anong magagawa?
maari po tayong gumawa po ng reply that
Hindi, ang
this is
galing-galing
not,
natin gumawa ng note verbal. Hindi ba dapat mag-note verbal?
Opo, opo. Note verbal is one way. That is the
Daan-daan
diplomatic
na
route.
ang ginagawa
But,
ng DFA, di ba? Hindi ba dapat iprotesta to?
Opo.
Hindi ba dapat mag-statement man lang yung DFA o DND? Hindi ba dapat magsalita ang pamahalaan natin na umalma? Bakit ito ginawa? Bakit biniktima ang libo-libong Pilipino?
Madam Chair,
Wala
if I
tayong
may.
palag eh.
If I
Ni
may.
hindi tayo umimik eh. Kiming-kimi tayo eh. Okay lang na pinatayan napakaraming Pilipino kung sakaling tama ito. Narinig natin ng mga doktor galing sa Amerika, doktor ng DOH, mga sikat tanyag, mga expert sa kanilang larangan. Bakit hindi tayo nakikinig?
Madam Chair, I believe that our country has also made representations sa ating mga
Wala
sa
pa
ibang
akong
bansa.
naririnig. Asan po yung
And
representation? Pahingi ng kopya, please.
And we could also go.
Yes,
because-
is that correct,
but-
Secretary Manalo? ASEC Tejada asserts that we have made representation,
Madam
whatever
Chair,
that means, in protest to these actions. Napakarami nating note verbal. Hindi ba dapat isulat man lang na hindi tama itong mga pangyayaring to?
Well, Madam Chair, the first time the DFA became aware of the situation was when the Reuters article came
Oo,
out.
sabay-sabay naman tayo. Pero mula noon, what has been done? I believe it's June 12, June 14, ano? Nasa 25 na po tayo. Have we taken any action, considered perhaps drafting something, somehow taking the cudgels for all those who died?
We have, in fact, when we heard of this article, we immediately thought of seeking information from the United States kasi doon lang namin nalaman to after we
So,
read the article.
have we received any response?
Could I ask our Assistant Secretary, American
Yes, please.
Affairs, because we did want to seek clarification on what exactly was this issue that we read about.
Please.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, and Senator Padilla. Yes, as the Secretary said, Madam Chair, immediately after the Reuters article came out, obviously we couldn't, do any official action yet on the basis of an article. So in response to your question about the note verbal,
But the simple
definitely we
query-
reached out. Yes, we reached out immediately to the U.S. Embassy and to
In what form?
U.S. authorities through our regular consultations
Okay.
mechanism.
Has there been any
The-
reply forthcoming?
The initial response po was we were referred to the Department of Defense, and so we also got a copy of the statement that you had read into the
Yes,
record
there's a
this
defense
morning.
attaché. We all know him.
Apo.
Anong sagot?
Essentially, they are looking into the matter, and we have not received any official and formal response yet in terms of any confirmation, denial, or anything. So we are waiting on that. We continue to monitor and to ask for information.
Yes, but moving forward, we are all in agreement that some action needs to be taken. Is that correct?
Yes, Madam Chair. In fact, we have initiated the
So we are
the
counting
regular.
on both the DFA and now the DND, as mentioned by ASEC Chan Gonzaga, to help us get to the bottom of this, and if we have legal remedies, undertake them as
Yes,
quickly as
ma'am.
possible.
Basically, the DFA and our embassy in Washington, not the Department of National Defense here
Yes,
in
Secretary
the Philippines. po.
Diodoro.
It's the U.S. DOD that ASEC Chan Gonzaga was referring to, not the Department of National Defense of the Philippines. That's why
I thought he was referring to you, given that you're the counterpart.
No, Your Honor. He was referring to that's a diplomatic matter, even though involving a counterpart.
Even though it involves a counterpart
yes,
department.
and that's
You're
more
certain of
proper.
that?
Yes, Your Honor. I am very certain. That's more properly within the purview of our diplomatic representation to the United States
Yes,
and the DFA.
Probably, but if you could help us along, because we would like to get to the bottom of this. Certainly your
If
counterparts
the
would have
DFA
better
requests us,
information.
Your Honor, we will certainly.
DFA, please find it in your heart to request the Department of Defense. I don't know why we've suddenly become so officious, but let's do that. Please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, we will, of course, first wait for the reply from the DOD, the U.S. Department of Defense, and obviously if there's anything in their reply which would prompt us to seek the assistance of our counterparts.
Magtulungan naman tayo. Ang dami-daming nagkasakit ng malala, ang dami-daming Pilipino na namatay dahil dito. Hindi natin alam kung direktang ito, pero sa numero na lang makikita natin na talagang nakakasindak ang epekto nito. Kaya't siguro naman, all hands on deck naman tayo nito. Importante naman na matapos itong usaping ito. Ano? At kung kinakailangan, alamin natin kung may sala talaga at patawan ng karampatan parusa. Eto ngayon, which brings us, since DND got back into the fray, let us move on to a related matter, which was a report last year that the United States finally decided to release vaccines which the Philippines already paid for. only after President Duterte rescinded his decision to abrogate the VFA. So we're back to DND territory. Ambassador Romualdez, I believe you've been waiting, but you're muted. Babes?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Romualdez. You were quoted as saying, then President Duterte, we need to give this VFA a chance because it will help us get our vaccines to our people. Does this mean that what ensued was a quid